You see, I have this problem where my microphone doesn't always want to fucking work. It's a real pain, you know? Anyway, we're going to get set back up. Wah! I appear from the void, from the ether.
Yeah.
Yep. And here are the ducks. All the ducks. All the ducks.
Oh, the duck.
All the ducks. And finally, I will reopen the tier list. I can explain what the fuck we're actually doing. This is a stream known as Serious Answers for Stupid Questions, where we come up with serious answers for stupid questions. Now, I don't know about you all, but in the Arcovian Empire, it is political season. Also known as political greason.
Yep. Back when there were people on this ship, you would have seen things strung up all around the place as people get ready to bash each other's heads in for no apparent reason other than the color on each other's backs.
Yeah. So you have the two parties. You have the Demonian party. They are very dedicated to blowing things up with C4. And then you have the Soldarian party, which they came around because well, there was the Demoman vs. Soldier update in TF2.
Selectively that. It was quite literally one group was good at C4 stuff, and then the other group saw the TF2 update. Yeah. And just went with it.
Yeah, I really hate the half Zatoichi, just on an unrelated note, But,
That's politically heated, I'll have you know.
Oh, you know what? I'm allowed to make political statements on this channel. It's my channel. So what we're doing today is, we're asking, the original question was, what presidents would play what roles in League of Legends? And then I realized that I don't know very much about any of the historical presidents, really. And that it would be much funnier if we just sort of, went through the League of Legends champions, and we, based on just the, whatever, how we feel, our vibes, their behavior, just how, where we think they would fall in the political hierarchy. So under the president, you have the vice president. The vice president, it's a very important job, and does not require be hit by Crane Brambler before get important job. That's vice president, important job.
Yeah.
Under that, of course, there's a secretary of Loot Crate.
And yep, very, very important. I should know. Are we? If we classify one of these boys into one of those positions, are they not classifying as the Soldaris or
Oh,
the
that's
Demonian?
the thing. The parties are the same. The parties are the same. They do the same thing. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I remember, but I forget because they do have two different colors.
Yeah, so it's kind of like, do we think they would be the president? Would they be like, a minor political guy? Or would they be like the local PTA member? That's what I'm kind of going for with these tiers,
Okay. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So this is a how important do they feel, and like how much power?
How important would they be if they ran for Arcovian politics? And then at the very bottom here is convicted felon. In the Arcovian Empire, convicted felons can run, but they do have to run third party, which is the same thing as not running at all.
I think it is very funny that convicted felon is on there, specifically because Mr. Hoovy continues to run.
Yeah, he got indicted, didn't he? Like, he actually got indicted. Wow.
Yeah.
That's... I don't...
Didn't last long, of course.
Wow.
You know how it is. Presidential election only lasting a day and whatnot on account of all the murders.
Yeah, all the murders.
I'd count them. I'd say assassinations, but it mostly is murders, considering how often that.
Well,
it's
you
just
have to
like,
be a
you were
political figure
president
for it to be
one day.
assassination. It's just
Yeah.
murder if it's a normal person who's going to vote.
Yeah.
Anyway, starting, of course, with the man who changed his name to always be at the top of every alphabetization list. It's Aatrox.
Aatrox is the president.
I think Aatrox has the kind. Well, here's the thing. Do we think he wants to be the president? Because
Yes.
really,
But yeah, no. Do you know what? He is the absolute executioner of all things, and he is the guy
Okay.
that gets to press the big red button, which means that he is immediately going to press the big red button.
I was going to argue that he would be more of a political hatchet man who is sort of like too hideous for the public eye, but works behind the scenes. But I do realize that he would probably try and get elected on literally just the grounds of more war. This is Aatrox for the More War Party.
Yeah, Aatrox for the More War Party, very, very popular with the Soldaris.
Now, Ari.
Ari,
Canonically,
I think
she's supposedly seductive. I really don't see it, if I'm being honest. I'm gonna bully Ari.
Let's see. What are our categories again? Can we increase our category size a little bit? It's
Oh,
hard
of
to read
course.
this guy. Here we go. Yes, the president, the vice president, the secretary of Loot Crate, and then convicted felon. She would be a secretary of Loot Crate, I believe.
Really? You only think she would be a sort of local PTA mom? I was going to argue that because I do think that she thinks she's hot shit, but like she wouldn't understand that like sex scandals do actually affect her career, you know?
I was going to say it's because she would be like, oh, I can get way more done from like this behind the scenes stage because I can clearly just seduce my way through things, even though that's not how politics work. But that is exactly how she would think.
I mean,
so.
like that's the thing. The local school board might be sucking and fucking. I don't know anything about local school board politics.
The only way you're gonna get those brownies from the fucking local PTA meeting is if you really know how to give a swirly.
If you want to get these brownies, you're gonna have to get some macadamia nut brownies, and I ain't talking about the big sale. Ari. Now, I would argue that Ari could be conceptualized of as an enlightened centrist, because her whole thing is quite literally, I am a ninja of balance, and I don't know what that means in lore. Does she, like, kill one good person for every evil person?
Akali is, as of the new update, she's like technically Shen's disciple, and she's super fucking headstrong. So I think she would go for the full president because she believes that she can, but would end up in vice president because she is not fit for the
vice
full role.
president to like Shen.
Yep. Vice president to Shen.
That's the problem. I don't think Shen is presidential material, so I think that might jeopardize her chances of being vice president very important. Now, Alistair, if there is one thing this year has taught us about politics, it is that a big boy can stay winning. Despite his recent health incidents, John Fetterman it was a Fetterman sweep. And I don't think it was just because he was running against Dr. Oz. Like I think big boys are big politically.
Do we want to put him at the full president? Do we think he could do it?
Well, that's the problem. I think there's a lot of sort of stuff you could take out of context about his early pit fighter career that might, you know, sort of
sorry.
jeopardize that.
Sorry, he's convicted felon. He is automatically convicted felon. Sorry, you did bring up that he was a pit fighter at one point and was captured. Technically, he is a POW and classifies as a convicted felon. Sorry, Alistair.
I think
we're almost there.
You know what? Realistically, I do think that Alistair would probably make it to like local council level, but I do think it's gonna have to stay in local politics because he is a convicted Noxian felon.
Yep.
Can you imagine being a fucking Noxian if Alistair actually came back to the city and was just like, yeah, I'm running for Grand General.
I'm running for governor. Not even Grand General, just governor. Local governor.
Now, Amumu is a child, which in the Arcovian Empire does not disqualify you from running, because we did have child Emperor Hieronymus.
Amumu is president.
Really?
Amumu is automatic.
Really?
Yeah, no, Amumu is automatically president because they used to be the old king and were cursed. They were a child king.
Oh yeah, they were. It's literally Hieronymus the Boy King. Now here's the
Yes.
thing: does he still have power in the modern electoral system? Do we think that Shurima has abolished the emperorship? Actually, wait. Is Azir running a January 6th style insurrection on Amumu?
No. I think the problem is quite literally like, do we count Abraham Lincoln as still being president if he suddenly just gets up one day and was like, no, technically my stuff wasn't done. I know I died in the middle of it, but technically it wasn't done. Is he still
Abraham
president?
Lincoln was not assassinated. He simply tucked his arms into his chest and rolled away. You know, I guess Amumu would still be president, yeah.
He is president at the same time that Azir is president. Is the problem. So if Azir ever sees him, he's going to have to like throw him around like
the 2024 race is really weird now that Azir is running on the third party ticket. Anivia, I think, would be a Secretary of Loot Crate. Here's my argument. I think Anivia is a no business, no nonsense, literal Ice Queen type bitch. But I think her problem is literally, like, she's too politically aggressive in a way that would keep her, like, the local member of the PTA or something like that. Where, like, she's just fucking screaming over bake sales at, like, soccer moms and shit. I will hear arguments otherwise, but I have a solid feeling in my heart that she is a dedicated PTA lifer.
I feel like she has been upgraded at least. She's not vice president, very special, but she is definitely calmed down in the later iterations where she has to compete with Volibear and Ornn at the same time, and she's been upgraded to the new Blizzard goddess or whatever.
The developers of the game realized that there were a lot of gods in Freljord. Or rather, there was one god in Freljord, and then, like, two very small gods, because Volibear was, like, a tenth the size of fucking Anivia.
Yeah, so they fucking just updated the size of Volibear, so now he's big, huge.
Another row above this, so that we have... I feel like having 5 gives us a nice middle ground to put our sort of edge cases in. And this is going to be running in 2024. And that's gonna be a nice lime green. Anivia is running in 2024. All right.
It's the Hillary situation where like they are constantly running for president, but they will never be president.
Ice Phoenixes are electable if you vote for them. Damn, the fucking 8-ball duck is having a nightmare with the Zamboni over there.
I know. We should rename that. We should rename that little piece from running in 2024. We need to rename it to electable if voted for.
Okay. Yeah, no, that's good. This is going to be the one stream that loses me followers, if any stream was ever gonna lose me followers. Also, oh no, 8-ball duck is going down the mountain. Goodbye, my friend. Oh no, he's going up.
Goodbye. Oh, welcome back.
All right, Annie. We did have an Arcovian child president. I don't think she has the charisma of Amumu. Even.
No, I think she's convicted felon.
Is she? Has she been arrested?
Yeah, no, she killed her parents though. She is wanted.
By who, though? Like, did she just kill her parents and disappear into the woods?
Technically, she's being pursued by Fiddlesticks.
I'm gonna say...
Does Fiddlesticks count as a police force in the Arcovian sense?
There is the Arcovian Spectre Squad for when, the cops tried to take over the Afterlife, so... Yes, she is technically a convicted felon in this case. I don't remember this guy's name. Gunboy?
I can't see him.
Four guns. I got 4 guns, and 3 of them are OP.
Oh,
Moon
is it
Boy?
Aphelios?
Yeah,
Aphelios?
Aphelios. Yeah. I think Aphelios is also convicted felon, because I think Aphelios is Lee Harvey Oswald. Like, I think Aphelios is in the book depository making JFK neurodivergent.
You are not wrong. His current lore is that he fucking ran in and shot all of the goddamn, rather, he shot one of the
Holy shit.
lunar... He shot one of the solar elders while they were
Oh my
trying
god, is
to...
he the reason that Diana and fucking, Leona can't be lesbians? Because he shot the moon president?
I mean, they got over it, but what it was the fucking Solar Council had almost completely annihilated the lunar group, and were essentially going to try Diana, and then immediately after that, after Diana was tried, just be like, all right, lunar group is to be destroyed immediately. So quite literally, because the moon is prophetic, they sent down Aphelios, rather, they had Aphelios' sister sent down to Aphelios, and he gave him a bunch of guns, and like, go assassinate
And he drank the poison.
And he did that while they were doing the trial for Diana.
Oh my
so she
god.
had to fight off Leo.
That rules. Targon is such a normal place.
We're normal here in Targon. This is how gay politics work.
Ash? Okay, Ash technically has political power already. Are we going to say that, like, the 3-part clans of the Freljord are as powerful as an empire?
She is the most president of the presidents.
Yeah, she's the most electable out of all of them, except for maybe Volibear, but that's because bears have a sort of mythological sway over us all, you know?
Up next, big boy Aurelian Sol.
Aurelian Sol.
He is electable if voted for.
Yeah, I mean, literally, like, humans voted him out of office. They they put the hat on him. they took a photo of him wearing the wrong hat, and then he was canceled.
He was a president at one point, but no longer.
I hear he's coming back. I hear he's gonna make a big return someday. Things are looking his way in 2024. Azir. I think there's an argument to be made that Azir could be in the convicted felon territory, but the problem is he is currently in charge of the police force that would convict him as a felon.
I'm gonna put him actually as vice president.
I think he's a vice president. Like, he's kind of got a vice president who assassinated the president vibe with how totalitarian Shurima is.
The reason I'm putting him at vice president is because in my mind he views Sivir as president, big president.
Oh,
Sivir
yeah.
does not view herself as big president.
She's sort of an ornamental president, absentee.
Yeah.
And in her absence, the vice president has started just executing journalists in the street.
Yes, but at the same time, she does not consider herself to be full president. She just thinks
she's the Andrew Garfield. She was forcibly voted into office against her will.
Yes.
Bard is, I think Bard is the most solid example of electable if voted for. What's his policy? Bwong. What's his goals? Bwong. What does he want? Bwong. But he will improve the economy.
That's the thing. If you goddamn voted for Bard,
he will use Relic Shield to fix the economy.
You know what? I think Bard is Secretary of Loot Crate, TM.
Really?
Because
do you think he cares more about making a difference on a local level?
Yes, no, I think quite literally he cares more about making a difference on a local level. So he prefers to take a job that actually makes a difference rather than like trying to go for full president. Because what does full president do to fucking Bard? Nothing. You want to know what Bard does do? Wong.
Bard is managing the treasury of the local church bake sale. I see. All right. Blitzcrank. I don't know anything about Blitzcrank's actual personality other than beep boop, my name is Blitzcrank. I know in his new lore he is apparently, like, people want to kill him because he's a sapient robot and that scares them.
I put him actually at president because his new lore has him as like the fucking wonder of Zon because he is like.
Oh, did he just
on
leave?
one hand, no, not. He left Piltover,
The
went down
shares
to
are being
Zon.
built over.
Yeah, he literally, the share zoned Piltover. He walked into Zon and he started just fucking helping people out because he's a steam golem that can fucking, live down there in the Zoot zone. So he just pulls people up with his big crank hand, which was what it was originally for in the first place.
So he just
He was like,
rescues
"Why aren't
people
you-"
out of the Joker chemicals.
Yes, he rescues people out of the Joker chemicals, and he goes around and everyone's like, yeah, it's Blitzcrank, baby. We fucking love Blitzcrank. If you fucking talk shit about Blitzcrank, we'll end you.
That rules. Brand, I think Brand's a convicted felon. The only thing I remember about Brand is that he is on fire permanently because he did a bad thing with magic. I don't remember anything about Brand.
Brand in his current update.
Oh, did they?
is-
Yeah, because you're more up to date with the lore. Yeah.
His current update is that he is the old apprentice of Rise, who got a hold of one of the world runes, which have infinite power. And he immediately went insane, because when you have infinite power, it is incredibly hard not to go insane.
So, the thing on Rise's scroll is the shape that turns you into Brand. Like, if I looked at Rise's scroll, I would probably also turn into Brand.
No.
Because doesn't that scroll also have a bunch of the world runes etched on it or some shit?
No, it has one different world rune on it.
Oh.
That one is the world rune of teleportation, which Rise has, and he uses in order to fucking, like, harness, or rather, collect the other world runes and put them in a small secret place that is absolutely safe.
Except...
Hey, Vel'Koz, what do you mean you've already compromised that? Are we gonna be cool with that? Is that normal? Are you okay with that?
Here's the question. What happens
Cool,
if Vel'Koz disassembles the world rune? It's probably fine, don't think about it. Braum! Braum is presidential material. Braum could run third party and he would get elected. Braum sweep. Braum 2020, Braum 2024, Braum every year.
Braum gets elected again in the same way that Teddy Roosevelt got
Yeah,
elected again.
you know how a couple presidents had 3
terms?
terms and we were all kind of weird about it? Like, this doesn't seem right. That's Braum. I'm glad we agree on that point. Caitlyn.
Caitlyn.
She is literally a mayor. Is Mayor of Piltover an elected position, or is she appointed by someone?
She's not a mayor anymore. She's not a mayor. She's electable if voted for, but she's a.
Did she quit?
No, as of Arcane, she hasn't reached mayorship. She's selectively the sheriff.
Ah. Well, she's not the mayor normally, but like she is the sheriff of Piltover. So my question is the sheriff of Piltover a voted position, or is it appointed?
It's probably an appointed position, considering that the fucking council is weird in Piltover.
Then I think she's actually a secretary of Loot Crate, and here's my justification. I don't think she would play the political game, and I think in Piltover you have to be political. I think she just wants to be sheriff, because it lets her shoot criminals.
Yeah, fair enough.
Camille. Camille is an extrajudicial assassin for Piltover.
Yep. If she inclined to run, she would probably get up to vice president, but she is unfortunately a convicted felon.
I would argue she would end up with a Hillary-style campaign where it's overloaded with memes and we all feel really upset afterwards. All right, Cassiopeia. Also, hello, Disco. Damn.
I think Cassiopeia gets vice president. She originally played the political game for a very long time, and then she turned into a snake.
I was literally going to say, I think she's vice president in the same way as Zir is, where it's like, Joe Biden has fallen down the stairs 5 months into the presidency, and then it's President Cassiopeia. And then everyone's lives gets markedly worse. Cho'Gath. I think Cho'Gath could run on the Republican primary.
Listen, all Cho'Gath has to do is walk in and just like eat the booth, and everyone in there will go wild.
Yeah, no,
He just has to do his little om nom nom animation, and that's all he has to do.
I think Cho'Gath is electable if voted for, but in the sense of like he's very clear about his political doctrine. He just needs the right landscape, and that landscape is om nom nom, because those are his two moves.
The problem, quite literally, is that when you write Cho'Gath on the ballot, they don't think it's an actual person. They think it's a Mickey Mouse thing.
You know what
so
it
they
is?
need to.
They counted anyone that had Cho'Gath without the apostrophe was counted as a separate candidate in order to gerrymander Cho'Gath out of votes. All right, Corky. I don't think he's a convicted felon.
Corky is not a convicted
Is he a
felon.
Yordle or just a very small man?
He is a Yordle. He is a Yordle as of the newest update. He actually has a cool new fucking animation where he flies over Piltover and gets shot out of the sky in Piltover because there's a unidentified flying object.
Yordles just aren't always furry now. Sometimes they are just a little man. Or is he furry now?
No. He shaves himself for aerodynamics. The mustache is the only thing he allows himself to keep because he likes the way it flaps in the wind.
Oh my god, that's incredible. Corky for president.
Corky for president.
I mean, that's the thing. He's dedicated to flying. I think if he ever...
He's the equivalent of a Sphinx cat for a Yordle.
If he ever stopped that's horrible to think about, because that means he had to degrease himself. I think if Corky ever, like, settled down from flying, it would be like a Jack Kennedy situation, where it's like, yeah, I used to be in a political family, now I'm the president, and it's fine. Like Corky would just be like, I used to fly airplanes for a living, now I'm like Jimmy Carter. I'm fucking president, and peanuts are in my blood.
Yeah, we need to keep in mind more Dudes Rock presidents exist, so that way we can just assign people that are like, yeah, this is
Peanuts,
the jelly bean eater.
Peanuts were in his blood. Darius, I think Darius, very, very vice president energy. Like, I don't think he wants to be president. That's explicitly his relationship with Swain.
I think he is the vice president. He is begrudgingly the head general at the moment. He does not like
Winterfront Darius is convicted felon, but like.
Well, I think that's technically the most current Darius.
Well, if Winterfront is most current, then it is convicted felon.
Yeah, no, he's lost his.
Yeah, he is literally no longer a citizen of the state, so he cannot run.
Yeah.
Diana.
She's.
I don't know how important she is in the Lunari. Yeah.
She's literally the moon.
I mean, did we have a president who was really obsessed with the moon? I guess, yeah, no, she would get the space.
Not really obsessed with the moon. She lives on Targon. She's literally the moon.
Oh.
If she dies, the moon goes away.
Okay, well, I think she's gonna revitalize the space program then.
yeah, she. I think if the literal moon was allowed to run for president, they would win.
My name is Draven, and I am running on the platform of Draven. Vote for Draven.
Yeah. A bunch of fire explosions come out, and all of the Republicans cheer, and none of them vote for him.
Draven will win. Draven accidentally wins as a write-in candidate somehow, but it's overturned at the last second because it's revealed he voted several thousand times for himself.
What? You can't blame me for a little voter fraud. I'm amazing.
It's legal and allowed. Alright, Mundo.
Mundo gets vice president.
Really?
Mundo gets vice president because Mundo very convincing to Republican side. Like very.
You know what, Mundo do what he pleases. Mundo do what he wants. Mundo fight for you, the voter. Mundo tell it like it is. Fair enough.
Mundo don't pull no punch.
Echo, I just don't think is very politically viable. And I do want to back this up so I don't sound racist. Is he a convicted felon?
Yeah, he's wanted by the Piltover police.
Okay, is he wanted by name, or is he just wanted as that kid from Zon?
He is wanted by name. Echo is wanted by name for being affiliated with Jinx for the terrorist actions she commits.
I will say I want to couch the Secretary of Loot Crate opinion, just so I don't sound racist. Echo is just a dick. Like, if you actually read the comics on his backstory, he's just an asshole.
Yeah,
I don't think he's electable.
He doesn't get very far. He thinks he'll be able to get far, but he's the fucking monkey bro that applies for the presidency that thinks they can win it. Yeah, my fucking apes will do it. My apes will get me this presidency.
Yeah. I had to think of what you meant monkey bro for a second there, because I was thinking about, like, literally a Dunstan type situation. But because, like, the first thing that comes to mind are not NFTs, but Echo does actually, in another life, I hate to say this because I do think he's a cool character in League of Legends, but I think if Echo met the wrong people in our timeline, he could definitely be the kind of person who loses all of his apes trying to play Dookie Dash on his laptop.
My entire wallet empty, all because I wanted to play Dookie. No, he'd be the type of person that
he could either
pulls
steal
off
the apes.
scams.
Yeah, he could either steal the apes or he could either get his apes stolen. It all depends on, like, he's a young man now because he's only like 12 in League of Legends. I think it's a fair assessment. Elise, I think, is a vice president in the same way like Cassiopeia is. She explicitly feeds noblemen to a big spider, doesn't she?
Yep. Absolutely. Yeah, no, she is. The only other option is electable if voted for, because, like, she runs in the Spiders party, pro Spiders.
Yeah.
All the Spiders vote for her, but Spiders count only, like, for 0.001% of a vote in Arconian rules.
I'm glad that we have managed to create a tier list that will be completely incomprehensible without our explanations afterwards. That is the goal of every one of these streams. We have Evelyn. I think there would be a sex scandal that rocks the party in a nightmarish kind of way. I don't think she's a convicted felon, but that's the only category we have, really.
I'm putting her up at president. I think she's the type of she has to. She's got a psychomatic problem that has to.
She's gonna girl boss her way into the presidency.
Yep, and she has a psychosomatic back injury that needs to be treated.
She was hit by a Navy ship. I see. Ezreal literally says, and I quote, cultural appropriation? Yeah, pretty cool, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't think.
Like, he's a pretty boy, but I think he's full of himself in a way that, like, not even Republicans can respect. He's not like the Trump-style hard man where he's like, I'm telling it how it is. I hate the disabled and gay people. He's more like, wow, aren't I such a cool Democrat? Anyway, here's a picture of my penis queen.
Is Ezreal currently a convicted felon? Let's see.
Yeah, that's a great question. I don't think he's a criminal. Is he?
He might be, because he's the fucking. He literally he stole that fucking relic or whatever because he's an explorer.
Oh right. Shurima is an active state again, so that's actually stolen property. Ezreal is a convicted felon. He
is technically wanted by the Shuriman state because what would have happened to those British people if the mummies had got up and said, hey, the ancient Egyptian fucking civilization isn't over yet, asshole. You have to pay us tithes.
Killing a random British man because we need to remind them that the Egyptian Empire still had shooters. Fiddlesticks, I think Fiddlesticks is electable if voted for.
Yeah, they run on.
I think we should. They run on the platform of we should increase terrorism. And I'm not gonna make a bunch of fucking like xenophobic comments on that front because that's horrible. But I do think that there have been some American presidents that have run on the platform. We should increase war, actually.
I think the thing that Fiddlesticks runs on is they also use fear tactics, and they're just like, yeah, the bombs are coming, the everything is coming. You have to vote for me because I am the only one that can stop the horrors trademark.
Yeah, no.
I know the horrors. I am them. I'm the only one that can stop them.
Fiddlesticks is the horrors, and I will stop them if you vote for me. Fiora looks too much like Kamala Harris for me to say that she's anything but vice president material.
She is only vice president material. She makes herself out to be like absolutely.
She's a noble woman, but it was handed to her.
Yeah, she has like technically skill or whatever, but she has spent literally her entire life just fencing. It is simultaneously earned and not earned.
Yeah. Fizz, I think Fizz would be into local politics. I think he would be like student council president, because...
Sorry, but Fizz is a convicted felon.
Really?
He is listed as wanted in Bilgewater because he is known by name and keeps fucking things up for those goddamn pirates. Does that count as...
Being wanted in Bilgewater is good for politics in other places. Apparently he's very friendly to all the reef creatures and whatnot. I think he's into local politics. He beats up the pirates.
Fair enough.
He dimes out drug dealers to the cops. Don't do that. That's bad, actually. That doesn't help the community.
He does it anyway, though.
Yeah.
That's how Fizz rolls.
Yeah. Galio.
Current Galio or old Galio?
Current Galio. Old Galio, I don't think old Galio had opinions.
Current Galio is electable if voted for, just because they are a giant-ass statue.
I think...
And as friendly as they are a giant-ass statue.
Rock the Dwayne Roxon, you know?
Yep,
I would vote for Rock. Like, that's the thing with the electable and voted for category. It's also, I would vote for them. I would not necessarily vote for Cho'Gath. I'd vote for Galio.
Yeah, I think he'd do a good job. The problem is just that, you know, he's larger than the White House.
Yes. Well, he would become the new White House. He's the white man.
I got a new title, the White Man. I don't know if I like that title. Can't we change it to something a little less... I don't know.
I should probably learn about the things I have to deal with now that I am the white man. What's this article from the 1700s? The white man's burden. Oh no, Galio, put the racist literature down! Gangplank. He is a convicted felon. Misfortune is the current... Like, Bilgewater is the most respectable it's ever been as a state, and she blew him the fuck up.
Yeah, he is a convicted felon.
Garen is president in the way that JFK is president, which is to say, I think he's going to be president very briefly, and then he's going to die.
Haha, I know exactly what I'm doing at all time. This is the point at which he gets immediately swamped by, like, I don't know, small goblins, fire.
Yeah.
Whatever the fucking threat of the week is.
I am running on the Murder My Sister platform this year.
Riot loves to fucking bully Garen because Garen is their poster boy. So Garen just has to deal with shit all the goddamn time.
Has he found out that his sister is a filthy fucking wizard yet?
Yep.
How does he feel?
He is incredibly distressed that his mother fucking drove Lux away because he literally cares more about his sister than the fucking...
Oh.
I care more about my family than magic. Why are we being racist?
I'm surprised. I did not expect them to actually take that tack with her. I expected them to have him be like, I'm going to kill my sister now.
The problem quite literally was instead, like, it's like, yeah, like, The problem wasn't that you were fucking magic. It's that you were collating with fucking Silas. You know, the guy that immediately killed the king. That guy.
Yeah, you know, a helpful and normal guy.
He was. Literally, I believe Lux, as of now, is currently on the run. Because she is technically she is technically also a convicted felon. So once we get to Lux, we'll have to put her under convicted felon because she is wanted by the Demacian.
With my eyes. I can't believe that like Lux's whole character arc at the end of the day is just she was right about everything, but she happened to become friends. Like, literally, this is the plot. This is a plot line of, like, yeah, I became friends with a guy who said he would help me become trans, but actually he's an overseas terrorist. Oh, boy. Nargata.
Who?
Nar?
Oh, Nar.
He used to be my top lane main, because people don't know how to deal with a ranged character in top lane.
Let's see.
I think he's a felon. I don't think any Bandles are convicted felons just because no state can hold them, except maybe Kled.
No, not even Kled. Kled, while he may be a convicted felon,
he has done no crimes in the eyes of Noxus.
Yep, he has done no crimes in the eyes of Noxus.
They gave him a rank so he would leave them alone. Territory. Yeah.
Yep. He's literally just defending his territory.
Don't they use him, like, literally as an entire front of the war in that area, where he just defends that area and they just stay out of it?
Yes, specifically because Skarl is an unkillable lizard.
Yeah. Someone didn't believe me when I told them that Skarl's title was literally the immortal Dracolisk.
Yeah, no, they are a variety of lizard whose whole thing is just that psychopomps don't like them. That's it. So
I believe the Gromp is technically also a variety of lizard that Skarl is, because it just crawls away when you kill it.
Yep, that one also is not particularly liked by psychopomps. There's a lot of the native
psychopomps just hated you.
You know, what if death disliked you so much that you became immortal?
I don't like frog. But I think Nar... I really don't know about Nar. He's just Nar.
I think Nar would be Secretary of Loot Crate, TM, in the same way that we have cats that are in charge of train stations.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Yeah, you make a good point. Uncle Gargus.
Good friend Gragbo.
I know his name is Gragas, but I have always thought of him as Uncle Gargus, specifically because of an old fucking Darkmane video where he was ganking a lane, and the enemy Gragas threw a bad ult that saved him from dying to a tower dive, and he just went, "Thank you, Uncle Gargus," in like the quietest voice, and it was the funniest shit in the world to me.
Yeah, that is Gargus.
I think he drinks too much to be like truly electable. I think he would have to run on the celebrity vote like Galio.
Yeah, he is only electable. He is very popular, but he too much drink.
Yeah, like General Grant. We would remember him posthumously as a drunk, even though it is debatable whether or not he was a drunk or just had alcohol dependency. True fact, look it up. Graves, he used to be the sheriff of some place, didn't he? He was literally a sheriff. Wasn't he like the sheriff of fucking... No, never mind.
Graves is just a bounty hunter.
Oh, right. I just think he just acts like a sheriff because he's a bounty hunter.
He acts like a sheriff actually specifically to piss Caitlyn off, as it turns out.
Really?
Specifically because he met her once during, very briefly in Bilgewater, and her whole demeanor pissed him off so much that he decided that he was going to act like a mockery of her from that point forward.
That's fucking incredible. Also, I think vice president, just because I think he could get into the vice president spot just on, like, his sort of checkered past as a bounty hunter if he played it right. He'd play it like a sort of veteran thing where it's like, yeah, I know
no,
how to be tough on crime. Like how Kamala Harris is a fucking cop.
I've already been tough on crime for a while.
Hecarim is a convicted felon. He literally murdered.
He used to be the General Lord, but he did.
Yeah, he did murder the king's daughter in front of him, and even though the king was okay with it, there was a whole thing about that.
Yeah, just because the king is okay with it does not mean that everyone else who is the actual important part of a political system is okay with it.
I think Heimerdinger would be presidential just because, same as Diana, he would revitalize the space program, but I think specifically, he would be elected president just by being really into the space program.
Nope,
Like-
sorry.
Really? Oh, is he a felon now because of the events of,
No, he's down to electable if voted for because he was voted out of office in.
Oh my god, that's
Arcane.
right.
Yeah,
He
was
electable if
president.
voted. God damn
He
it.
was president, but then they voted him out and then immediately got blew up for it.
Vote for Heimerdinger for president. We're voting. We're voting for Heimerdinger on the grounds of we need to go back to the moon.
Please vote for me for president on account of the fact that I was the one that originally built Piltover and have been sort of trying to design it as a good place for people
Sorry, he
since the very
built the
beginning.
place.
He founded the place apparently.
My god, Piltover is a shithole. I really hate that town.
Hey babe.
Yeah. Did he found it?
Inventor of the shopping mall vibes for him.
Yeah, no.
My fucking
He-
bastard
he
child
founded
that
it
I've
with-
created, and it.
The ethics of Yordles in mind.
Yes,
Yeah. Fuck, that sucks.
and it, human politics
Yeah.
immediately took him over, and then voted him out, and then went to shit, and they all started exploding and dying.
Yeah. Ilawi, I think she's a convicted felon, but also,
She is not a convicted felon.
Oh, right,
she
no,
is
you're allowed to do what she does, I forgot.
yes.
Water
she-
straight up makes it legal for serpent priests to beat you to death.
Not even allowed, encouraged. She is elected to that position, and it is an honor to be in that position.
Is it elected? I thought it was just something that she got because she found Nagake Boros' eye one day.
It is simultaneously that and something that like she fucking proved. So literally she found Nagakeko Boros' eye and then fucking marched over and was like, I found this eyeball, therefore I deserve to be in this position.
All right.
And all the fucking priests are like, yeah, that's how that works.
Big woman pentakill for president. I think if I ever went back to playing League nowadays, I would probably become an Alawi man. I love to feel safe in my area.
I
Irelia.
don't know how she does anymore.
It doesn't
She might
matter
have
how
fallen
she
off.
does. It genuinely does not matter to me. With League of Legends, I've realized I play at such a mediocre rank that the tier lists only kind of matter, as long as you play well. The tier lists determine how quickly a game can spiral out of control. If the enemy team has a lot of S ranks, you can't start feeding kills. If the enemy team's also playing bad champions, you can have a fun time. Also, hello, yodeling. Irelia. I think... I just don't think she has an interest in greater politics. I think she would be a local politician and again, aim no higher. Much like many of the others we have mentioned.
I'm trying to think if the Blade Mistress lore was updated. Because technically
She's at war for Ionia, I believe, and she uses
you have placed her in exactly the correct position because technically she is a Blade Sister underneath a much more powerful.
Yeah, they're like a
Blade
monastery.
Mistress. Yeah, they're a monastery. She's just the best student. She's like the tigress of the fucking Furious 5 or whatever. She's not actually the Dragon Warrior. She's
What a
Good.
pull. I'm glad that you too have Kung Fu Panda permanently as just your toolbox of cultural touch points.
I mean, it was a
Every
pretty
Jack
large
Black
cultural touch point.
I am inches away from referencing any given Jack Black movie at any given time. I think Ivern is electable if voted for because he would run on an anti-war platform, and it's happened, but he's president of Sweden. You know how Sweden shows up to every like international disaster and is like, "Hello, Do you need help?
Yeah. Yeah, that's exactly how he works.
How does Sweden manage to run, like, what dark secret is Sweden hiding that they're able to run that functionally as a country?
Nazi gold.
Oh, fuck! Jana. Jana's just a lady.
How
Like,
long
what lore
has
does she
Jana's...
have?
She's technically the fucking wind spirit that keeps everyone from dying down in Zon by clearing out the fucking winds down there.
What a weird fucking place to shove her as.
Yeah, that's where they fucking put her, and I don't know if they wanted to keep her like that, but like that's where she
local
is right now.
politician?
She's a local politician because she's just like a small patron saint.
Jarvan is literally the king of Demacia, and apparently
Yeah,
he is incredibly charming when he is not LeBlanc in disguise.
It's time to be a president.
It's time. Jax. I don't think Jax.
Jax is president.
Really?
If he
He went
is
into
a master of every
if he
weapon.
went into politics, he would become a master of politics.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
She's like,
If we're supposing he goes into politics.
Do I really have to be president? Well, if I guess I have to.
You know
Immediately
what?
wins in an ultimate landslide because he only has 2 fingers to hold up anyway.
I'm gonna win with no donations from anyone. Thank you. Jace, big VP energy. I think he wants to be president, but I just don't think he's cool enough. He thinks he's cool enough, but because he thinks he's cool enough, everyone hates him.
A vote for Jace is a vote for Jax.
Yeah, you're completely. No, it'd be the other way around because he's like suddenly imply like he's the real one wearing the pants in that relationship, and Jax just does not care. Jin, convicted felon, but he was pardoned. I'm gonna say electable if voted for. I think he runs on a platform of capital punishment. I hate that I'm gonna have to justify this tier list so much to people.
No. We have to put him back down in
Oh wait, they
convicted felon.
unpardoned him, right?
Yeah, they unpardoned him because he immediately went out and committed another crime. They're like,
Right,
all right, don't go out and commit any crimes. And he was like, all right, I won't. And then immediately goes out and is like, hey, Shen, I'm going to blow up an entire village.
Yeah, isn't it Shen specifically who's like, he's not pardoned actually, while the rest of the government is just like, well, we'd really like if he kept blowing people up for us, though.
Yes, it is specifically Shen that's like, no, he's not pardoned. What are you guys on about?
Jinx is a convicted felon, but I will note, as of the events of the Netflix series, she is also technically the president of Piltover. You can't prove otherwise.
Yeah, she did kind of win. She did win, technically, in Arcade. Like, she lost really hard because, like, she
all
she
her
fucking
friends
lost it, but
died.
Yeah. I'm still gonna put her down in convicted felon. It's what she would want.
Yeah, no,
It's what she
yeah,
wants.
she would call herself the presidential felon. I think Kaisa would be local politics, just because, like, I think Kaisa, has too many chronic pain problems from her, void parasite to hit the campaign trail.
Yeah, she's not really able to get very far on any campaign
She's
trail.
fighting the good fight, but she's limited by the void parasite eating her flesh with 100 needles every second.
Yes.
Which is apparently what that feels like. Like, it apparently literally feels like there's needles in every one of her pores. Which is fucked.
Ooh.
Yeah. Callista. I think she would make VP easily just by virtue of weird internet reply guys who are weird about Hillary.
She was already. She was already.
I think she has presidential aspirations, but she would fall into that pitfall where it's like, oh, she's too bossy, and it's like, well, you love it when men are bossy.
Yep. It's absolutely like Hecarim could have done it better if only he hadn't fucking snapped.
I think Karma stays out of politics for her own mental health.
Yeah.
I think she's in local politics, and she does not aim higher for her own mental health.
Yep. She's like the head librarian, and that's about it.
Yeah. Karthus.
Karthus.
Karthus is a mass killer in the most literal sense.
Karthus is a president, unfortunately.
Really?
Because
Oh yeah, he's
I am the best president. I get everyone's souls.
Yep.
I get the most.
Imagine if
amount
Donald Trump could actually
AP.
sing. Fuck, I hate that. Cassidy, I think Cassidy is electable if voted for, and then if he was president, then Kaisa would be his vice president. And everyone would be kind of unsettled by that, but it'd be like a Kennedy family political dynasty thing.
Yeah, no, it would be very much like Cassidy is now president, and I'm gonna make it so that way my kid is gonna be the next president by setting that up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Katarina.
Next up. Katarina. I say Katarina's vice prez. She tries to go full prez, but
She would try and murder the president, much like a lot of the people from... Like, a lot of the women we put in the vice president category are there because I think they would murder the president.
Yeah, because that's the easiest way to get it. And then Mundo also, technically, but Mundo also just does whatever.
Yeah, Mundo does what he pleases, quite literally, and that somehow got him into office. It's like the movie Being There. Kale. I think Kale... Personal opinion, a competent Kale can win any game. So Kale is president.
I would put Kale in terms of personality as electable if voted for.
Yeah.
Just because, like, she is the most Hillary of like that you can get in terms of she is riot cop skin.
He is literally the gatekeeping girl boss that stands before the gates of heaven. I should know this fucker's name because I used to main him.
I can't see him.
Kale? Scythe boy?
Swing him around in front of the fucking...
Scythe boy?
Ah, Scythe boy.
Rost?
Kane.
Yeah, Kane, that's what it is, yeah. I think Kane is a convicted felon. Like, I don't think he's convicted, because he's a Demacian child soldier. But
he's part of Zed's shadow group. He's a convicted felon. They count.
Oh yeah, no, the Shadow Ninjas would count as convicted felons, huh?
He is explicitly Shed's right hand fucking.
Like they wouldn't be convicted felons if it weren't for the fact that Shen has explicitly convicted the Shadow Monks. Kennen.
Kennen could be president. Kennen is, I think, the only possible like Yordle that would be able to become a president just because he fucking hunkers down and actually does shit.
I think he's local politics, but he has the right stuff. He could make president. Like he's in local politics now, but he's an up and comer. He's Pete Buttigieg. That's what I'm getting at. Yeah, he's Pete Buttigieg. Kazakhs. Electable if voted for in the same way Cho'Gath is, on the platform of we need to conquer like every other country on Earth so I can eat them.
I was gonna put him down in convicted felon because he's got an active bounty.
Oh right.
On account of Rengar.
Yeah, because Rengar tore his goddamn head off. Death itself.
Can tear his goddamn head off. Where do we put the
Kindred? You want to know what the horrifying thing is about that trophy? The Hunter's Trophy with Rengar? It's implied he has literally torn off Kha'Zix's head before, and he came back smarter. And that's why Kha'Zix is so hyper-adaptable now. And specifically, Kha'Zix goes out of his way to taunt Rengar, because it apparently fucking, like, makes him less effective as a hunter.
Ah.
Yeah. You're never getting rid of me until I hit 10th Instar, fucker!
Kindred. Electable if voted for.
Yeah, on a platform...
I would vote for the concept of death.
Yeah, on a platform of, we should be normal. Everyone chill the fuck out. Kled...
All things change.
Kled is not a convicted felon, but I do still think he would run third party, so I think he goes in the convicted felon tier.
Yeah, Kled runs on Kled party.
Yeah, Kled runs on Kled party, but doesn't stuff the ballot box, because that's cheating!
didn't you vote for me?
Scarlet's not legally allowed to vote. That's why he wasn't elected. It was Demacian interference every year. Kog'Maw. I mean, Kog'Maw is a dog. I do think people would vote for a dog to be president.
But nothing in the rules that doesn't say a dog can't be president.
There's nothing in the rules saying a Pugmaw can't be president. LeBlanc. She's technically. Hang on, I need to add a category under president, I think, because this is bothering me. Add row below.
Nothing in the rules can't say this guy can't be president. No rules against it.
There's no rules against it / shadow president, because LeBlanc was literally the president of Demacia for a little bit using magic, and also is kind of the president of Noxus.
We should put Mundo up and
yeah, Mundo's no rules
against
against it. Kog'Maw will also be no rules against it. Just go back through these real quick. I think Bard's also no rules against it, honestly.
Yeah, Bard's honestly no rules against it, and one.
I think most of these are honestly good where they are, though.
Yeah, most of these guys are still good where they are.
Nar
yeah.
can be no rules against it because he's literally a child. Lee Sin, I think Lee Sin has big VP energy. Just like the way he acts, so like smug and self-assured. Like he has his own shit going on, but he does desperately crave your approval.
We should move Kindred up to Shadow President real quick though, because they are the very concept of death lingering behind all things. I think.
Yeah, fair enough. Lee Sin has big VP energy to me.
Yeah.
Also, he looks a little bit like Biden.
Yeah.
Leona, I think, is genuinely a presidential lady. Like, if she tried, she could be a very presidential woman. In the same way that fucking Diana is the moon.
She is currently the head of the Solari.
Yeah.
Because the current council, the old council died or whatever.
Lysandra is the most convicted felon of the Freljord tribal leaders, I think.
Yeah. She's shadow government. She rules from behind the scenes.
Well, also she has literally the fucking alt-righters behind her in the form of the trolls she's mind controlling.
Yeah.
So she's an e-thought that's running. Lucian. I think Lucian is electable if voted for, because I think Lucian would be, he would run on the Republican ballot despite being black.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Lulu. I think Lulu's also electable if voted for very different reasons, because she's technically an adult.
I think Lulu's nothing in the rules against it, also. Lulu just gives that vibe of, like, the people that would vote for her are just like...
Like a Jeb sweep.
Yes, like Jeb sweep. Lulu sweep.
Lux, I think...
They're voting for picks, not her.
Yeah, I don't think Lux is experienced enough to go above Secretary of Loot Crate. I think Lux is local politics.
Yeah, Lux is local politics. Sorry, Lux.
Malfoy.
Electable if voted for. I'm the mountain. Sturdy.
Malfoy would run on the platform of no fundamental change. just like Joe Biden. Alright, Malzahar literally has a button that forces people to see like him, and it kills them. So I think he's president, but in like a really catastrophic way.
He is Ronald Reagan levels of
president. No. He seems good for the first couple of years, and then in the last couple of years he starts eating jelly beans by the fistful and calling his wife mother.
In his case, he just starts summoning voidlings into the White House willy-nilly.
Appoints a voidling the Secretary of State. Alright, Maokai.
I'm also electable if voted.
Yeah, running for the...
That's what I would say.
Running for the, the Environment Party.
Yeah.
Master Yi. I think Master Yi... He seems like a local politics guy. He seems like the guy who goes to the local PTA and is very insistent that they check in on what the kids are serving for school lunches because it's very important. in like a really, like, not in the way where he means well, in the way where like he's clearly using it as a weapon to feel like important.
Yeah, but at the same time, he like does actual like research in order to actually use that weapon well. So it's like
He's technically
he's
right, but
clearly
he's being
good.
such an asshole about it that you want to be a bad person just to spite him. Miss Fortune is currently Bilgewater president and apparently the ultimate seductress, so I think she could slide into president super easily.
President Ultra.
Mordekaiser is technically the president of torture. And it's not like the American government admitting they did torture stopped any of those presidents.
Yeah. Mordekaiser's president.
Wait, what
in the
happened
same-
after the Ruination?
The Ruination is completely unrelated to Mordekaiser.
Really?
Yes.
I thought Mordekaiser was a Shadow Isles champion.
They are a Shadow Isles champion.
Oh,
They are their own
Sorry.
separate, stronger lord that is sitting in a different afterlife of their own creation
Oh.
through sheer rage and hatred, waiting for the perfect time to come out and sweep the entire planet in a
Shadow
no-holds-barred
President.
instant win.
Shadow President.
Yes,
is what I
Shadow
said.
President.
Wow, I forgot that he was unrelated to the Ruination. I thought he used to be one of the Ruin King's fucking generals back. That was back before they revised their lore, I think, for the rework. Yeah.
They turned that into Hecarim. Hecarim
Yeah.
is the general that he used to be. Now Mordekaiser is literally the old fucking warlord of what Noxus used to be, who died and realized that there was no afterlife, so he built one from the grounds up.
I'm gonna say Morgana. Morgana's convicted felon because Morgana loves torture, as far as I can tell. Like, her literal ultimate is her loving torture, is it not?
Have you seen her rework?
I've seen her rework, like her graphical rework. What is her lore in the rework?
Her new lore is that she is like... She is the patron saint of like people that have been injured unduly, and
Oh.
she's
So after Kale fucked her up unjustly, she became the saint of being injured unjustly.
Yes, it's, quite literally it is. You will also feel the pain that you have inflicted upon others.
I'm gonna say
become a better person for it.
I think she'd be vice
she's
president.
local yeah, vice president. Vice president to Kale if
Yeah.
Kale.
Vice president to
Yeah.
Kale if Kale becomes president, but local politics otherwise. I think.
Yes.
Yeah, I think you got that. Nami, I think she's literally local politics in its purest form. She gets the pearl, so we don't all die.
Yep.
Naxxus.
Naxxus is the president.
Yeah, Naxxus seems like a very presidential guy, just like in the sense that he was a scholar. You know.
He's the person that is currently leading. He's the person that is currently leading around Sivir in lore. Is like they are actively traveling together.
Presumably to
because
not get
Sivir
murdered by Renekton.
To not get murdered by both Renekton and Xerath, because both of those two have become active because, hey, Azir's awake.
Which, by the way, can I say it's really sad to me that, like, apparently there are some updated voice lines with Xerath and Azir and Renekton, where basically, like, they straight up apologize between one another, but then they just go like, yeah, no, I'm too insane to not kill you now, sorry. Like, Naxxus will try to apologize to Renekton, and Renekton just, like, gurgles at him incoherently. It's bad.
Yeah, it is. It's kind of sad,
Yeah.
to be honest. Like, Renekton is aware that their godly form is literally so overcome with rage that they... It's weird, because they have their ascended form, which it's different, and that one's in the card game, and that's
Yeah.
if they, like, gain the ultimate power of Shurima or whatever, in which case they become actual literal gods, you know?
Instead of just, like, demigod. I love how if you get a second shot of the god sauce, it just makes you a god.
Yeah, you've got God Sauce
You can
1
be a
and
good
God
person, or you can get a second shot of the god sauce.
it occurs to me that that's probably that the god sauce is probably what makes Volibear and Anivia and Ornn gods as well. Is just like the latent god sauce that's in fucking.
Yeah, no, Targon is so close to the heavens, I believe it filters down from the stars. Like, literally, that's what the constellation gods are also, is humans just kind of absorbing god sauce. The disk of the sun, I believe, focuses it because Shurima's in the desert.
Me when god sauce.
Nautilus
give me that sweet, sweet god sauce.
Yeah, I dip my fries in it. Really?
Yeah, Nautilus is the.
No.
Nautilus is shadow government.
I was gonna say local politics because he is the troll toll.
I was going to say shadow government or local politics just because technically they are literally the ocean spirit's fucking like personal bodyguard that is sent out to do their bidding, and that does include doing the
here's my
toll.
pitch.
It also included sinking one of the fucking islands of the Shadow Isles when fucking Viego got too snippety.
So they can just literally, if you piss off Nagake Boros, like if the Ruination had pissed off Nagake Boros enough, Nagake Boros could have just solved the Ruination. Just ate it.
Yeah, pretty much, because they quite literally they send Nautilus to do that to one island of the fucking Shadow Isles, and he literally just sinks the entire thing under the ground with both hands because he is so big.
Damn. I'm gonna say Vice President, and here's my argument. I think he's Vice President to Shadow President Nagake Boros.
Yeah, that's
who is not on this tier list. Nico. I'm gonna say electable if voted for in the same way that like an e-girl is.
Nico can pretend to be literally anyone else. So, yeah. I'm also going to say electable if voted for because they run into the problem of trying to be what everyone wants them to be at the same time. So, like, one person will walk up and be like, hey, can you be pro-gun? And she'll be like, yeah. And then someone else will walk up and be like, hey, can you be anti-gun? And she'll be like, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Nidalee.
Holy shit, we're only to the end.
Yeah,
there's so many fucking champions.
I've been speeding it up. We're close. I promise.
Nidalee's gonna go. Nidalee's only local PTA.
Are her murders known about? Because I know she murders Noxian soldiers, but it's not in Noxus.
She turns into a fucking tiger for that, so I don't think so.
I think Nocturne is shadow government. He would torment the president with nightmares in order to get his policy enacted. He would not run. He would simply control the government through causing nightmares.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. There's no way he would.
Nunu, Vice President, President Willump.
President Willump.
President Willump, Willump 2024. Willump every year.
Willump forever.
Olaf. I think Olaf is technically a convicted felon because he's exiled from his home village. Isn't he wandering the world looking for a death?
I can't remember. I think so.
I'm gonna put him in. I think he's going to become a convicted felon.
If he isn't, he will be soon.
Yeah, because he throws axes at people all the time. He would throw an axe at like a guy during a press meeting. Oriana.
Oriana is also local politics. She's more concerned about, because technically she turned into a real girl or whatever and then left.
She wants Ball to be president, but because Ball legally can't run for president, she just has to settle for being on the local council with Ball.
There are in fact rules against it for Ball.
Yeah.
So
there are rules against Ball. I think Ornn would be local politics, but like very begrudgingly. Like, the HOA sends him letters, and so he constructs a ham radio tower in his backyard.
Yeah, Ornn does not want to be president. If you forced him to be president, he would be the best president ever made.
Yeah.
Like, he would be the perfect
Ornn
president.
is in politics because people keep bothering him, and so he's become political just to spite them. Like, actually, subsection 124A of the HOA says you have to get rid of your daffodils, Meredith.
If we're you're going to get nitpicky about it, then I suppose you're going to have to get rid of your fencing on account of it being over 2.68 meters tall.
Or we can drop this altogether, as it's an optional bylaw. Alright. Pantheon. I think Pantheon is presidential material because he literally overcame the force of a god just through personality.
He is absolutely.
And he literally has an answer to the press question, like, what would you do if you weren't president? Oh, I would be a baker. Poppy. I think Poppy is a vice president, but because she just refuses to take the presidency.
She the only way that Poppy will become president is when they are a vice president and the president legitimately dies.
Garen will have to die for real reasons.
Yeah, they will have to die for real reasons, and when they do, she will be president for as long as it takes to get a different president in. Please.
See, Pike, I think, is electable if voted for, specifically because he is a murderer, but he does it for Nagake Boros, so technically it's legally sanctioned. And I think you could get the vote for him for tough on crime. Does Pike just serial kill, or does he actually kill people who deserve it still? Because if he just serial kills, then that's a problem, but I think Pike is electable on the tough on crime ballot.
It's... As of the fucking Bilgewater one, the fucking Bilgewater game or whatever, technically it's a mix of both because, like, he will just write people's names on his list if he sees them, like, on the street, but at the same time, list names will also appear on his list after having been sent from Nagake Boros, and those ones will usually appear earlier on his list than the ones he just randomly scribbled down because you pissed him off.
Is it people who annoy him or just people he sees?
It is people who annoy him. It is specifically cheats, drunkards, it is the vile and destitute bastards.
So it sounds like if you're a good person, you have literally nothing to worry about from this local serial killer.
Sort of, yes. The problem is that you can't determine what he thinks is fucking bad or whatever.
Right, because he's a sea monster whaler, and technically it's ethical to cut them away. Because fun fact, apparently with sea monster hunting, if you bring a survivor along, the survivor will be followed by the thing that bit their hand off or whatever, and it will come fuck up Bilgewater. It's just that they apparently cut him loose before they should have, in his opinion, which is why he's a vengeance spirit.
Yeah, no, it's quite literally, they cut him loose for no reason, because...
They didn't like him, basically.
Yep, they cut him loose for no reason and didn't like him, and as a result, the fucking Jaal hunter that they were hunting got their entire ship, because he was the only actual good hunter on there.
Yep. If you piss off the Jaal hunters, they're like the Ericus ghost from Starbound, but for your ship. Kiana, I think, has political power in her Lost Kingdom, so she's presidential.
Yep.
Quinn...
She is a president.
Quinn is an elected official in Demacia. I don't remember what elected official.
She's the head scout or whatever.
She once again seems vice presidential to me.
Yep, but not even vice presidential. I'd put her only as, like, electable if voted for.
Yeah.
She's not quite up there.
Not interested, but she could run if it became relevant. All right. This guy that I can't remember the name of. Rakan is apparently very, very charming, so I think Rakan would be president.
Vice president.
Really?
Sorry. Yeah. He would be vice
Zaya. Yeah.
Specifically to Zaya, and
Zaya
is president.
Yeah, if he was president, he would be like Bill Clinton in that he would be rocked by a sex scandal. Yeah. But like a sex scandal that honestly wasn't that weird or bad, but we got really mad about it anyway. Rammus is electable if voted for. I think voting for Rammus is okay. Rek'Sai is a convicted felon, I think, because Rek'Sai does, like, eat caravans in Shurima.
I would put Rek'Sai as president, actually.
Really?
Wanna know why?
Why? Oh, she's the queen. Yeah.
She's the queen of her own government.
Yeah,
she is just waging war. That is different.
Right. You know what? Fair enough. If it was anyone but her, Renekton, convicted felon. They literally put him in a
Yeah,
box.
sorry. They put him in a box. Yeah, sorry, dude.
Rengar, I think Rengar, would only be local like, I think Rengar is an elected sheriff. And I don't think he tries for anything else. Oh.
He doesn't get too far, I think.
I know you are tired.
It is late.
We'll get through
I know,
it.
I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. I was the one who forgot how many characters there are in League. Riven. Riven seems Shadow President-y to me in a strange way. Like, my gut just tells me, like, she doesn't want to be president, but she would somehow end up with that level of power.
No, she's back down to local politics. Her most recent iteration has her physically apologizing to the Ionians and just becoming a normal farmer.
Oh, right.
She's just a farmer
Yeah, she is just a
now.
farmer now. I know that Redeemed Riven is a skin she had. I forgot that they made that canon to her lore progress. Rumble.
Rumble. Oh, this one's difficult. I think they're electable if voted for. They are running on the platform of Big Mechs for everyone.
Yeah, I think it's, again, a celebrity vote kind of thing. Like, I want to reiterate, electable if voted for is also, like, the celebrity vote, because Draven is here. Rise. Rise can go anywhere, and I think that includes the White House if we take his red, white, and blue skin as any indication.
Yeah.
He literally was president.
Rise was and quite literally is president. He is the last remaining member of the fucking order that he was in. That is like the World Rune Order. He's in charge of like me. If he's not president, he's shadow president.
Yeah.
But he's too active to be shadow president.
Yeah, Sejuani has
Everyone
big
knows about
VP
Rise.
energy out of all the tribe leaders, I think. Because
Yeah,
she doesn't
she's-
seem very competent at what she's doing, to be perfectly honest.
Even lore-wise, technically she is vice president. The current leader of her clan is actually the fucking blood hag or whatever.
The
Yeah.
many-scarred from the card game. Huh.
Yes, her. She is the actual.
The Scar Mother, that's her name, I believe.
Yes, Scar Mother.
Wow. Sivir is president. We have discussed this before. Fuck. I don't remember her. Senna.
Senna.
Senna. Senna again has big VP energy, and I don't know if it's just because the president, like the VP right now, literally is a hard-nosed woman who is a cop. You know, like. I guess it's historical precedent at that point because we've cited like Joe Biden and Trump and Andrew Garfield.
Yeah, she's very much. If she's either that or she's a president. That's the equivalent of the '90s president, girl power.
Yeah.
The hypothetical girl power president.
Imagine if we had had a girl boss president back in the '60s. Vietnam would have been so weird. Set. I think Set's local.
President.
Really? I know he's very popular, but I think he's local politics just because you can't make as much money as president.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
Fair
Like,
enough,
being
fair
president
enough.
would make him
He
accountable.
realizes very quickly that you can't really.
Shaco's a convicted felon. He kills
Sorry,
people.
Shaco.
Singed is also a convicted felon. Singed did war crimes.
I can run for president if I want. I'm the jokey.
Singed is running for president in the sense that he's literally ghosting and downing insanity potion and running at the president to flip him. As a Singed main, Singed is running for president, but you'll wish he hadn't. Shen, we did decide was actually Shen would be a shadow president, wouldn't he?
He is a literal shadow president.
Yeah. Like he's the public shadow president. Siobhan, I believe, is literally the child of a noblewoman, so I think she's electable if voted for.
She's the child of a noblewoman and a dragon. She is the green choice.
Like that's the thing, that's scandalous, but electable if voted for. It's like, are you okay with the fact that she fucked? Are you okay with with an interspecies president? Scion did kill the previous president of Demacia, so he is a convicted felon.
Sorry, Scion.
I'm just looking at this.
His electoral platform, if he was going to run, would be "Let me fucking die."
Scion for president. I'm just imagining him leaning over the podium, double peace sign, just "Let me die." A vote for Scion is a vote for annihilation. Skarner is technically the president of many small worlds with his crystals.
Yes.
So, actually, wait, no. He'd be local politics. Because they're a council.
Yes,
Yeah.
he is a council member of the many councils of Jesus fucking Christ. Those are my brothers and sisters. What are you guys doing? No, that's not a battery. God damn
Does
it!
it kill them?
Give me that.
Does it have to kill them when you use them as a battery?
It doesn't kill them.
Oh.
It just slowly drains their energy while they're hibernating. So it will eventually kill them once the hex crystal is out of energy or whatever.
Can they do it in a way that doesn't kill them? Are they literally just killing
They don't
sleeping?
know.
Oh.
They don't know that they're actually living things. That's
see.
the problem, is that one day Piltover is going to get fucking run into by a giant crystal scorpion and everyone's going to realize simultaneously, oh shit.
I think Sona is electable if voted for, because she is mute, but I think that that's not necessarily a disqualifier. You know, there have been disabled presidents before, and she is very popular. It's just a matter of her politics, and I think she would be too left for a lot of people.
She's just got a 82 fingers Ed on them, and that's the real problem, is that that's incredibly hard to do, even for Sona.
Yeah. Soraka, I think Soraka is the first woman president who wins purely on charisma, no corruption. I love Soraka so much. She's going at the top of the presidential tier list. She
wins the presidency.
This is not me being like girl boss shit or anything, or being like, ooh, my goat waifu. I genuinely like Soraka. She's just a likable character, especially in the card game with some of the lines they've given her.
Yeah, she's very much a president that manages to capture the hearts of the people.
Yeah. Swain is shadow president, even if he's not shadow president. Even if he's president, Swain is shadow president. I feel safe in saying that.
Swain is simultaneously active president and shadow president. He has his second smaller government going on underneath his government just to make him feel happy.
Yeah, I'm gonna say Silas. Silas is a convicted felon, even though he did break out, technically. I'm going to add a single row below, and this single row below is actually going to be for Syndra, and I think she's the only one who can actually run on this platform. Which is to say... Literally, she made her own country using telekinesis. Who else can you say that about in League of Legends? Not even Azir made his own country, he just revived it. But she lifted a whole fucking temple into the air. She just flies around.
Mine now, mine.
Tom Kench would become president, not shadow president, but he would be...
No, wait, no. Go put him down and literally made his own country as well.
Oh yeah!
He is the source of all bayous.
Fuck. I hate that. Specifically because a bayou has to be, like, a certain amount of moving water. God damn it. I think Tilia could be president, honestly. Like, I think Azir even says as much, and that's why Azir is, like, afraid of her.
Yeah. Also, wait, no. We have to go take Aurelian Soul and put him down and make his own country as well.
Aurelian
you did
Sol.
make the planet, sorry, dude.
Yep. Aurelian Sol now, Aurelian Sol forever. Talon, I'm gonna say Talon's a convicted felon because, like, he would definitely, like, someone related to his campaign would disappear, and even if he didn't do it, they would be able to imply that he did it well enough to get him fucked over.
Yeah, they would grab him on some sort of sensibility there.
I think Tarek could be a VP because I think they would bring up his past as a deserter to keep him from being president, but then I think, like, Garen would make him VP to be like, ah, yes, this good Demacian man who is definitely Demacian. That's my argument for Tarek being a vice president.
I think that's very funny, yeah.
Teemo? Teemo's local politics. Teemo kills foreigners for fun, but he's allowed to do it by the government.
In fact, he is the only person allowed to do it.
Yeah. Thresh is a convicted felon. I'm gonna say, because he was connected to the failed ruination shit, he is a convicted felon. He does not count as his own government.
Sorry, Thresh, you goofed it.
Tristana, I think, is electable if voted for, because I think she would be local Paul otherwise, but, like, she's popular enough with all the other Bandals that they would vote for her.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Trundle,
what
Troll
happens-
President!
I'm the best president. And if I'm not the president, all I'm going to have to do is walk up and smack the old president out of the way.
Trundle literally made up an electoral system so that he could become the king of the trolls. He didn't make his own country, but he did make his own voting system.
Yeah.
Tryndamere is also technically the king currently, so...
Yeah. Our good king. Good king
Twisted
right
Fate.
next to Trondy.
Convicted felon. He is a wanted man in many places. Twitch, also a wanted felon in Zon.
Yep.
Udyr. I think he's also technically wanted by Noxus because he killed people in the Ionia War.
He's up in
I think
vice pres.
Really?
I put him in vice pres.
Okay.
He's vice pres to Shen's President Shadow War.
That's fair enough.
Yeah, he's in Ionia.
I would say electable if voted for in the same way that like Teddy Roosevelt was. Like, I shoot a moose with my gun.
Yeah. That one's also pretty good.
Urgot is technically legally dead. I don't think he can run.
Urgot's a Chem Baron right now, technically.
Really?
Yeah, that's why he has so much
They brought
fucking
him back
power.
from the dead and then made him a Chem Baron, or did he not die in his lore rework?
In his lore rework, he didn't die. He got really close to death and now has a bunch of fucking, like, chem stuff. That's why he's like that and became a Chem Baron, is literally because I need access to chemicals. And I'm going to get them one way or another.
I'm going to huff this glue. I'm becoming the president of glue. Hello, is this the president of drugs?
Hello, is this the president of drugs? No, hello, this is the president of drugs. Me, hi.
I think Varys is electable if voted for. I think he would play up the fact that he's gay. He would run on the platform of, I am going to be the world's first gay president.
He would run on the platform of I'm two dudes.
Yeah. No, like, it would be a gimmick campaign in the same way that Pete Buttigieg's campaign kind of felt like a gimmick campaign, where he was running on the platform of, I'm electable. It's like, I'm two dudes. Vayne, I think I would put her in VP just because she's like a very business-like woman, but I do think she has the drive that she would become a president. But what's your argument?
I was gonna put her in local politics because she's too busy focused on revenge to actually do like politics stuff, in my opinion.
You make a good point, actually. I was gonna say, now that you're making that point, like, I could be president, but there's all these goddamn vampires. That's Vayne.
That's the problem.
Veigar, I mean, Veigar actually does also go into
Veigar's the
literally made
president.
their own country.
It's either that or president, because they
built a
yeah.
big fucking castle. Vel'Koz. I think Vel'Koz is really into local politics in that he would really like to annihilate the local PTA to get a better understanding of politics.
If Vel'Koz ran for president, Vel'Koz would instantly become president because they would do it by annihilating the old president wholesale
And gaining his knowledge.
Gaining his perfect presidential knowledge.
Actually, you know what? We're gonna bump him up to electable if death beam. Victor. I think Victor is presidential. He apparently is just the leader of a populist movement in Zon.
Yep.
So
He currently leader of a populist movement that was made possible by Jinx's fucking shenanigans trademark.
I'm gonna say Vi, unless you have anime knowledge to drop on me, Vi seems like local politics just because she seems like she likes to beat up criminals.
She's still local politics, yeah.
Vladimir, I think he's literally, Vladimir is being raised to be the vice president to a shadow president.
Oh, absolutely.
He's either shadow president or vice president.
He is sitting directly in the shadow president, vice president pocket. He is not a full president himself. No.
He's gonna be at the bottom of the shadow president tier list, is where he'll be.
Yeah, and you know, if all the other shadow presidents die, he's the one that backs up.
All right, we have old Volibear.
Oldaver?
Yeah, old Volibear, who's just a guy. I believe he's actually a president.
Yeah, he should be actually.
He was the leader of his bear clan.
Yeah, Bear Clan still technically as the god, still the leader of the Bear Clan, just upgraded. So I'd say she's just president too now.
Warwick is a felon, but I think he has been elected to the local mayorship anyway. Because I think turning into a werewolf has somehow expunged that from his record. So he's never going to be president because he can't run for president, but by some technicality, I think he can run for, like, mayor.
No, I think he got back down into convicted felon because he became the wolf and then started killing things again.
Doesn't he only hunt, like, criminals as a wolf, though?
Yeah, but, you know, you're not really allowed to do that extrajudicially, technically.
Right, he does live in Zon, so, you know, that's fair. Wukong, I think Wukong is electable if voted for. If monkeys are allowed to vote, Wukong's getting voted right in, baby.
I think we should put him up in no rules against it, actually, right next to the Shadow
Oh
Presidents.
yeah, no rules against
it.
No rules that says a monkey can't be king. Zaya would in fact be president, just hauling Rakan to president, kicking and fucking screaming the whole time.
Just president.
You want to be president so bad, but I'm sorry, you were literally convicted into a coffin.
Yeah, they are a convicted felon. They are trying to run for president, but they are a convicted felon.
Xin Zhao.
Vice pres.
Oh yeah.
Pres.
Yeah, no, big Jarvan vice president energy. Yasuo, I think Yasuo would be electable if voted for, in that he would be sort of rocked by scandal, but otherwise a good guy.
His platform is, and his gimmick is that he goes alone. He does not have a vice president. Like, he does not choose a vice president.
Sir, you have to appoint a vice president now that you're president. Fine. The wind is my vice president. So is that Janna, or... How does Janna feel about Yasuo?
She thinks he's very cute. She thinks it's funny that he can move that stuff around.
Oh, that's adorable. Yorick is local politics. He's literally reviving the dead so that he can begin grassroots change.
Literally, like, I'm not electable enough yet.
Yumi does go in no rules against it because there's no rules saying a dog can't be president.
Does it count as astroturfing for Yorick?
It is, but it's
necroturfing.
Yeah, it's necroturfing, and it's allowed in Yorick's case because he's doing it for the right reasons. It's like that Huey Long style of leftism corruption that they described on the podcast. Well, there's your problem. Where like the last 20 presidents have all had the last name Long, but everyone is paid $20,000 a month to do nothing. I think Zach is a populist president. I'm a guy. Vote for me.
I got voted in because all my slimes voted for me.
Yeah, no, literally, electable if voted for in that sentence. I think Yorick is local politics because of the necroturfing campaign, but Zach is just electable if voted for. He's like one of the only Zonites who's electable. Zed is a convicted felon.
Originally, I was considering having all of my slimes count as independent votes, but that seems like it would be a little crooked. You should just vote for me instead. This message paid by Zach.
Ziggs is also, I think, a convicted felon, even though the people who convicted him are all dead.
I think he's local grassroots right now, actually, because he is a conscripted demolitionist as of his most recent iteration.
Oh, right! I was gonna say, wouldn't we have to bump Jinx up then, but she's not conscripted. He is.
Nope, he follows rules. He has stuff that he does. He's an
I think it's very funny that he has a safety inspector, and his safety inspector, despite apparently loving explosions, does do his job competently.
Yeah, no, yeah. We do have to make sure that the bomb only goes boom when it needs to.
And it's funny too, because doesn't his card art have him with like a flaming clipboard?
Flaming clipboard, and he was rubbing out the other singed mustache that he had, with one end being on fire and the other end just being like, and he's like marking off his check mark as yes.
Well, he's the safety inspector because he's always putting out fires somewhere. Zillion, I think Zillion is a candidate for Made His Own Country because he literally has the time tower, and otherwise he would just loop time until he became president.
No, Zillion is shadow president, unfortunately.
Oh, right.
Yeah, he didn't make his country, but he's trying to keep it from being annihilated. So
Right.
technically,
Yeah,
like,
using time
yeah.
magic.
Yeah.
Zoe is also the shadow president, sadly.
Yep, she is the
She
messenger
she
of the
doesn't
apocalypse.
understand that she's the shadow president, but she is.
That is the problem.
Yeah.
Quite literally, the problem is that she does not understand that she is the shadow president, but she is explicitly the shadow president. So anything she says goes.
Yep. Plant lady. Zyra.
Zyra is a convicted felon.
Yeah. I was gonna say convicted for ballot stuffing because she would use her plants to vote. New
bet she would
Fiddlesticks.
New Fiddlesticks.
Okay, so hang on. Old Fiddlesticks. I'm gonna say Old Fiddlesticks is actually Shadow President because I think they give him a place of placating power, specifically because he used to be an extra-dimensional creature of the Summoners Institute, and they just locked him in a room instead of dealing with him. So I think Old Fiddlesticks, I'm gonna move to Shadow President because he is the terrorist that they negotiated with.
And then New Fiddlesticks.
New Fiddlesticks is electable if voted for.
Because New Fiddlesticks' fucking campaign is quite literally
should be afraid.
vote for me and I will go away.
This girl, the centaur girl who I love very much but can never remember the name of,
Lyra? Lilia?
Why is she at the bottom here? This was
because all the
alphabetical
new
up
ones
until
were.
now.
All the new ones read it at the bottom, I would guess.
Okay, Lilia. I think she's vice president just because she has very low self-esteem and wouldn't want to be the president.
Yeah, she doesn't.
But like
doesn't get the
she's
presidency.
Like I do like her. I find her charming and very cute. I'm sorry, folks. I do have very clear biases that you can discern if you look closely enough. And finally, the Godhead of Volibear.
Big Volley. He's president also.
Yeah.
Put him right smack dab right next to his old version, because he's literally just Volibear 2, Volibear harder.
I
exactly
think he's
the same.
Yeah, I
but
think he's
just bigger.
technically he's higher up on the tier in my opinion because technically he is a god aspect. So yeah.
He's the same thing but bigger in my opinion. Literally just we took the same Volibear and sized him up. What if our president was big?
Yeah, Volibear, and Volibear. This one has a nice minty scent. Oh fuck! I just realized this website also allows for alignment charts, so I could definitely do that for a future stream.
Volibear. The cooler Volibear.
Alignment chart of the different varieties of gamer, whether they're toxic or non-toxic, shooter or casual. All right, so I'm gonna resize our tier chart here and scroll through it. I will be downloading this image and posting it in the streaming server that I am a part of. So if you're one of the people from that server who watches that, you'll be seeing this with no context. And do we have any further thoughts? Because
I have exactly one final thought.
yeah.
We should move Lulu down to literally made her own country.
Oh right, yeah. Yeah, she did do that, huh? Oh, Mordekaiser
she did.
too, technically.
Yeah, Mordekaiser also.
Mordekaiser did it in like the cringe way though.
Yeah, literally they took the two opposite approaches of making a country.
I'm gonna make a
nothing.
country because I have lots of friends who love me. I'm going to make a country because I want to kill.
I'm going to make a country because I want to kill, but better than that guy.
All right, so that's our tier. Checking back in on our ducks, we have a nice variety of ducks. The ice duck over there has still not melted. I'm not sure if he ever will melt, if he even can. I think he has been slowly thawing this whole time. But yeah, this has been another serious answers to stupid questions.
Boy, am I glad that they're in there and we're out here.
But what
And
I
they're a
want to
duck.
know is who's the sheriff? Good night, everyone.
Good night.